Hi guys, we're back at Belton horse trials. Just behind me is the advanced show jumping. Basically I've had a walk around, there's 11 fences with a double and a combination, so quite a few fences to leave out. Little Tiger's a complete opposite. I have to do all the settling work and just keep her calm. Today's going to be a little bit more difficult because she's done dressage yesterday, so the edge was taken off her yesterday, not today. So I'll do plenty of trotting and cantering around calmly. We do very, very little warm-up with her in the sense of probably one cross pole, one upright, one oxtail, very small, just to keep her calm and settled, because she knows how to jump, keeping her brain not thinking fast, jump big fences quick. It's really simple actually, it's not too complicated, just keep her chilled. And the only thing I'm slightly disappointed about in here is there are lots of uprights, and she just doesn't try particularly very hard over uprights. They're a little bit insignificant. She doesn't see why she should try too much. So it would have been nice to see more bright big oxes, but you can't have everything. But they're both on really good form, and you just go, and this is just a run before badminton, so we just want a nice round. If she has a pole or two, it's not the end of the world. We want them to leave her up at badminton. Hi guys, you're going to see Frosty's somewhat disastrous round. Well, some people would say disastrous, but I'm just going to give you a bit of a recap of what happened and stuff. It would be so easy to go to, and this is my last run for badminton, it'd be so easy to want an absolutely perfect run, but she's a pony and she's very naughty, and she has got a naughty pony stop, and she went to stop at the first, which I managed to not get her to do. It wasn't pretty, but we got to the other side. Then, because I'd given her a smack and said, hey look, that's not on pony, she went a bit sort of like, I'm going to ring child line, I hate you, you're so horrible. But I just tried to stay as calm as I could, but I was being quite forceful in the sense that because she was running away from me, I wasn't ragging her around, but I was being like, no, you're going to wait, you're going to listen. Look, you've made your mistake, but I'm not going to punish you anymore, but I'm not going to let you run off like a headless chicken. So we had fences and it was all a bit, but it's her, and it would be so easy for me on my website to put only the perfect rounds up, so it all looks wonderful. But I want you to see that this is real life, and even horses that have been around badminton 3 times and Burley twice, it happens to them. Here last year she stopped in the show jumping with me and then had a couple of poles. I just didn't want to let her stop, because she is naughty. So like I said, on the outside it wasn't great, but we weren't eliminated, and it's her and she's got it out of the system, and I'm not going to hold it against her. And I think it's really important, at the end of my round I stopped and I made a big fuss of her, because I don't want to be her enemy, I want to be her friend, but I want her to have respect that when I say you can't stop, she can't. So yeah, we'll see how the cross country goes anyway.
What are you going to do with Frosty now on the cross country?
I'm just going to have a really nice schooling round, and I'm going to sort of get a bit of discipline back into her. So, normally we gallop around the cross country and she does it her little way and I'm just a passenger but I'm now going to go out and be like, actually we're going to go slowly, actually you're going to listen, actually we're going to jump off this stride, not wait how you want. So it's again just sort of putting a bit more discipline back into her without being hard on her or pulling her around. It would be so easy with something like she's just done to go back to grid and this and that and guide poles, but it's just Frosty. You have to realise it's just Frosty, and that I have to be very tactful, because I'm also very, very aware that she is a pony, and what she has done for me until now is amazing. And if that's her saying, look, I can't jump advanced show jumping anymore, then she doesn't have to do advance anymore. So that's why I'm just trying to put nice discipline back in without scaring her, because I am very aware that it was a big track. Tiger, as you saw, the show jumping was pretty hideous, but I've had an absolutely fantastic ride with her cross country. She made a bit of a hash of fence 5, which was a horrible corner, just purely because she didn't sight it. She was so busy sort of fighting me and saying, come on, let's get on with it, mum, that half a stride away she sort of went, oh, put that there. But again, like I try and educate the horses from the beginning to think for themselves, be quick on their feet. I gave her a head and she got over in not a hideous fashion, but it wasn't terribly beautiful, but it didn't matter. We got from A to B to the other side, kicked on. So really, really pleased with her. Then we had had quite an incident at the coffin where she tried to bounce the second part out. So she jumped in really well, over the ditch really confidently, because obviously she's done a hell of a lot. And then she jumped the ditch and just went, I can bounce this, because it was quite a short distance, because they'd presumed horses were going to be a bit green or a bit careful. So I sort of slipped my buckle, sat on the back of the saddle and just basically let her do what she needed to, which was demolish it. We completely and utterly took the fence down by the roots, which is not ideal, and I'm not telling you guys this is what you should be aiming to do or not care if it happens, but for her, she's such a funny little character that we got away with it. We were between the flags and I just kicked on. You know, she ignores it, she was totally sound. Obviously if anything had been untoward I'd have pulled her straight out. But I kicked straight on, we went to the water, which was difficult and has been riding badly. She absolutely pinged through the water and I was like, right, fine, yeah, carry on. So important that you don't dwell, or try not to dwell on, you know, an iffy jump or because horses, they sense, they get so much from you, and I, you know, for me, I just put it behind me. There are very, very few rounds, even at top level, that are not without a glitch or a problem. So just, you know, like with her, we sort of scrambled all over it, but she was like, you're still on, I'm still on my feet, let's go, Mum. And I was like, hey, I'm coming with you. So, you know, like I said, all in all, really pleased, and hopefully it would have made her at least respect the solid fences a bit more before Badminton.